Whoa, welcome in everybody. We are live talking week 8. Can you believe it is already week 8 of fantasy football? Really excited about today's live. We're going to be breaking down each and every game throughout the entire slate. Well, we're going to be answering your start sit questions in between or along the way, and that's going to be fun as well. So we may not get to every single game, but we are going to answer some of your questions here. So I see Ryan in the chat. Welcome in, Ryan. So glad you're here. We see Al Stuntman in the chat as well. So glad you're here as well. Really great to have you guys already in the live. Feel free to drop any of your questions. That's the benefit of being here early. But I am going to start by breaking down this first game. It's Chargers versus Vikings. Huge game here. Huge game here. And I do want to start with a couple players with some difficult matchups this week. So the first player to watch out for, Jordan Addison. The Chargers, their defense has been pretty strong. Now, Jordan Addison has been pretty strong as well. Coming back from the suspension, 15, 15, 22 points. So Jordan Addison has been excellent. And look at this schedule. This is a guy, I think, that is breaking out. Like a lot of people, this is one of the most underrated breakouts in fantasy football. I think actually you can buy high at the moment, and you're actually going to get, you're going to underpay. Even if you kind of buy high, you're going to underpay for Jordan Addison because look at this schedule. You know, it's a little bit worrisome if Carson Wentz backs out and it becomes J.J. McCarthy again, but Jordan Addison, definitely someone I want to trade for coming up here because this breakout, I think it can continue, certainly. I mean, look at the volume he's seen here. He's able to make the big plays. Justin Jefferson is getting the majority of the focus, so definitely one thing I'd do before tomorrow's game, try to get Justin Jefferson for your team because as soon as he has a couple more big games, he's going to be impossible to trade for. We got a couple questions here. We got, let's start with this one. We got Super Scuba Steve. Appreciate you being here, Super Steve. We got Keenan Allen versus J.K. Dobbins. It's tough this week because I do like J.K. Dobbins a lot, but I am going to go Keenan Allen. He's been a little bit better lately, so I'm going to go Keenan Allen. Let's see what Al Stuntman has to say. I just traded Devontae and Dowdle, I assume, for Javonte Williams. I think that's a W. You got out of Dowdle. I think Dowdle is going to be good, honestly, and I like Devonta Smith as well for the rest of the season. But you got Javonte Williams, who's been a top 5 back, a top 10 back for sure in fantasy football this year. Maybe not quite top 5, but it's got to be close. Let's actually check real quick. We can do that in the Walter Picks app. I totally forget. I've got all the detail at my, I was right on the, RB7. So exactly like a great back to start all season long. So I like that move. Let's see here. Let's enter another start sit from Ryan. He was the first to the show. So thank you, Ryan, for being first. Let's prioritize your question here. DJ Moore, Vidal, or Monungai. I don't think we can trust Monungai quite yet. I will mention the Bears have an extremely difficult playoff schedule. So those are players that as soon as they have those good weeks, I'm trying to inch away from them, try to get some players with a better playoff schedule. DJ Moore has one of the best wide receiver matchups of the week, so I do like him. But I think going Vidal is probably the move, especially with Haskins likely to miss this game if he's not already ruled out. So I like that move here. Let's do this one from John. AJ questionable. Who can I replace? Worthy, Quentin Johnston. I think definitely Quentin Johnston's your guy. I know it's tough to play them early, but Worthy is being a little bit crowded by Rashee Rice, who when he was in the game, I think he had about 48% snap percentage. He got a target on about 43% of those 48%. Pretty much when he was out there, he got the ball. So I am a little bit more worried about Worthy. Quentin Johnston would be my start there. Like that call out there. We got Anthony. Anthony says, do I start Keenan or Higgins? You know, that one's tough because the Bengals, I'm trying to think about their matchup this week. Let's do a quick check here. Let's do a quick check on Higgins. And I'll keep answering start sit questions while you guys got them. We may not even get through a lot of the games here. I'd love to answer a lot of your start sits in today's live. I'm feeling the start sit energy. We got the matchup against the Jets, so I think Higgins would actually be my guy. I'm going to head into the matchup tab real quick. And again, this is OP in the Walter Picks app, overpowered. You guys want to download this. Plus, if you're here on the YouTube Live, there's a link in the description that will enable you. It should a 14-day free trial. So give that a try. Use my code NOBS. Appreciate the support, guys. You guys can use the prop evaluator for NBA. If you guys didn't know, I'm posting some NBA content as well. Want to take advantage of that. But look at, they've been giving up some big games. George Pickens having some big games. We see Xavier Legette last week having a big game. So Sauce is taking on that wide receiver one, like Tet McMillan last week. But we see some other players like a T. Higgins role, Xavier Legette, having a huge week. So I think T. Higgins is your guy this week. Great question, by the way, Anthony. Dart or Jones for QB. Let's see where we got them ranked in the Walter Picks app here. I'm going to hit cancel. I'm going to go QB, and I'm just going to scroll here. We have Jackson Dart at QB6. We've got Jaden Daniels at QB8. So both top 10. Honestly, I would think about trading one of them if you are in that tough start to decision. One of them probably could help someone else in your league, so I would consider trading one to get some value. I would go with Dart this week. He's been running quite a bit. And Daniel Jones against Tennessee, it's a tough matchup because you just run the ball so much. So I think I would go with Jackson Dart this week. We got John in here. John, thank you for promoting the likes. If you guys could hit that like button. We are trying to get to 100 for today. We got 34 people in here right now, so we can get a third of the way right now. If you guys, the dedicated audience, appreciate you being here, could hit that like. And I'm sure you guys got the Walter Picks app, but make sure you have that free trial, 14 days. Give it a try. The new Tradefinder is live for a lot of users today as well, where you can buy any player, sell any player. I'm going to show you guys how to use that in a second. But let's answer another question here from Portillo. I think Dowdle or Worthy. I personally would go Dowdle this week. I'm going to go to the running back and just show you how high we have Dowdle. He just was a lot more efficient. He was a lot better. We've got Dowdle. Let me see here. Let's find Dowdle. I think he's up a little bit higher than Chuba Hubbard. Yeah, we got him as RB16. A surefire start this week in my book, for sure. I definitely agree with the whole projections team. We have a whole group of people doing these. And by the way, guys, if you just joined in, thank you for joining. We have a 14-day free trial to the Walter Picks app in the description. We were just answering a lot of start sits today. We were going to go game by game, but loving the start sits. I do have to let you know, guys, we have to start with this. This is insane. I helped make this tool. This is the Tradefinder. So I'm going to sync a league real quick, and you guys got to check this out. This is now live for some users. So see if you have this. It is a premium feature, but you can check it out with a free trial. And one of the awesome things you can do is I want to buy Christian McCaffrey. Let's see. My team may not be able to make this. Yeah, I was going to say my team may not be able to make this happen. But look at this. It automatically generates trades here. Let's see what it would say if I want to sell Jamar Chase. Let's see if we have any good trades for selling Jamar Chase here. Literally going through the entire league. And it says James Cook would be a good move for my team because I'm weaker at the running back position. So I actually kind of like this one. I like this call out and it just generates the trade for me. And then this is an 18-person league, so it's kind of a bit tough on the trade finder. But you can improve position as well. Let's see what it says if I want to improve the tight end position. This is going to be pretty cool as well. Let's see what it has to say here. I'm putting it to the test live. I don't know if this is the best idea for me. But 18-man league. We'll see. It may or may not give me something amazing, but let's check it out. It's doing a lot of research here. Yeah, I was going to say, with my team in this league, I am extremely top-heavy, so I do not have, like, the best trades. Like, I've got Bijan, London, and Jamar Chase, and then the rest of my team sucks. So I'm not surprised there's not a ton of trades, but you want to plug in your 12-man leagues, your more normal leagues, and use the trade finder because that's going to be huge. Let's answer a couple more questions here. Let's hide the current comment. Let's jump down to the bottom and answer some start sits here. We got Pacheco or DJ Moore at the flex. I'd go DJ Moore. He's got a good cornerback matchup today. Let's see here. Oh, we got a dynasty question. I'm trading A.J. Brown and Christian McCaffrey for Bijan and St. Brown and a first-round pick. I think that's a good move, Brandon. I think that's a good move. I love this one here. We got a spot start from Eddie. Start with Mims, Leggett, Pierce, Coleman, or Austin. Guys, I'll let you know that Marvin Mims actually has one of the easier wide receiver cornerback matchups. I've got it written down here on my No BS Fantasy page on TikTok and on my YouTube, No BS Fantasy. I post the easiest running back wide receiver matchups. And Marvin Mims is facing Khair Elam of the Cowboys this week, and that is an extremely easy matchup. So Marvin Mims, Eddie, with the easy matchup. And last week, guys, I'll let you know, guys with easy matchups, those were players like, let me see here. Those were players that I got it written down for you. Lad McConkey, 15.7 points. Olave, 26 points. Kayshon Boutte, we called him out with an easy matchup, 13.5, very startable. And Devonta Smith was on the easy matchup list, 33 points. So watch out for those guys with easy matchups. Mims, second easiest matchup in the entire NFL this week. So an amazing start. By the way, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And the goal for this live is 100 likes. So if you guys could hit that like button. Mims or Franklin, I'm going to go Mims. I'm going to go Mims this week. I'm going to see what we can do in the let me see here. Let me do the trade finder in my non-18-man league and see what we get. Let's see if we get any good trades here. And you can sort by whole season, regular season, playoffs as well. In this league, I'm kind of in the middle, so I think whole season's best for me. Let's let that load and answer some more questions. Igbuka or Scadaboo? I would go Scadaboo. I mean, just a couple weeks ago, these teams played, and Scadaboo was insane, so I would go Scadaboo this week. And Igbuka kind of coming back from the injury a little bit, so I think I wouldn't rush into that one. Let's see here. CMC, BTJ, T-Law for Hurts, Judy, and Rice. Wow. I'm the side that has CMC. So you get Hurts, Genty. Genty has a pretty tough schedule. He's been pretty, honestly, he's been pretty bad. And I don't think it's going to get better. I really don't. Especially if they trade Judy. They're just going to stack the box like crazy. So I think, but Hurts over T-Law, that's a huge advantage. And I love Rice as well. But I think I'm going to stick with CMC. He's just too good. He's like a wide receiver 1 and a running back 1. Let's check out these trades I got in the Walter Picks app here. So these are generated for me. Aaron Rodgers, I could get for my team now. This is a super flex league. So this is another kind of weird league. But I really like this first trade. Derrick Henry and Devonta Adams for Aaron Rodgers, Marquise Brown, and James Cook. I would do that trade. I'm actually going to send this trade right after this live because I actually think this trade would help my team a lot. So I really like this trade. Let's check the next one. Jonathan Taylor, Calvin Ridley for Justin Fields, Cortland Sutton, Derrick Henry. I honestly don't mind that one too much either. Justin Fields, for me, pretty low value, but it is super flex, so he has some value, and this is my team. And then we got Jonathan Taylor, Calvin Ridley. I like that trade as well. This one, Jalen Hurts, Trey Benson and Cortland Sutton. That one may not get accepted because Trey Benson is hurt. Let's try this one. Jameson Williams, Josh Jacobs for Fields, Sutton, and Derrick Henry. I kind of like this one as well, guys. And this is the power of the Tradefinder because I don't have to go through the entire league and find where this is going to work. So I actually really like this trade as well. We do have Trey Benson. He's injured. I'm not sure if my league mates are going to take him, but I do like a lot of these trades. And let's try selling. Let's see here. Let's try buying. Let's try to get a player for our team. Let's try the buy player. Let's see what Quidshot Junkins. I keep trying to buy this guy for my team. Let's see if we can get any trades there. Again, maybe it doesn't work because not every time it's going to find an amazing trade for every single player, but definitely worth searching it out. It will be up for most people very soon, like today, tomorrow, the next day. So just keep watching out for that. Let's answer another question here. Let's see here. Lad, McCaffrey, Golden, pick 2. I'll let you know that Golden actually has one of the easiest cornerback matchups this week against, and I have it written down. I just can't remember his name. It keeps escaping me for some reason. He's facing Jalen Ramsey of the Steelers. I know I'm a Steelers fan. I don't know why I can't remember it. But I think I still would go Lad and Metcalf. I just think that both those guys, Lad has a good matchup this week, the 10th easiest matchup. Let's do this one. Pittman, Rome, Lad, or Devonta Smith. I think I would go with, okay. Let's answer this question first, but then we got to check out these trades. Here. See, Trey Benson is hurt, so we gotta work on that one a little bit. But Judkins for Devonta Adams, I would do that. Justin Fields, Devonta Adams for Judkins Pearsall, I would do that. Judkins, Ricky Pearsall for Devonta Adams, yeah. I mean, it's close. Obviously, that's definitely in my favor a little bit. Jackson Dart, Ricky Pearsall, Quidshot. I'm going to send this trade. Actually, after this live, I'm going to send this trade too. Jackson Dart, Ricky Pearsall, Quidshot, Junkins for Derrick Henry and Cortland Sutton. I really like that trade. I'm going to send that. So again, guys, this trade finder is pretty insane. I'm going to unsync my league so we can go back to the starts and sits. But this is a new feature coming soon. Again, free trial in the description. Pittman, Rome, Lad, or Devonta Smith. Start 2. I think Pittman is a great start against the Titans. They're just going to score so much. And then I probably go with Lad. A.J. Brown may miss this game, but I'm going to go, and that would move, I think that just really hurts the Eagles' offense. Devonta Smith would probably be insane, though. I'd go Pittman. I guess Pittman and Devonta Smith, but Lad is definitely safer. Smith actually has an easy matchup this week as well. Olave or Addison. I would go with Addison, I think. Olave and Addison have tough matchups this week, but I think I would go with Addison. Good question, guys. And we're going to keep rolling through the questions. And by the way, guys, if you just joined in, make sure you hit that like and the subscribe button. Make sure you also go for this trade finder in the Walter Picks app. It's pretty insane. We've already come across a few trades right in this live, just using it live with you guys, that I'm going to send. These are good trades that I think would also be accepted as well. That's the power of this tool. It's not just trades. I've used Trade Finder before that send trades. This one actually gives you trades that can be accepted. Make sure you use code NOBS, by the way. Help me out a little bit as well. Let's see here. Let's do this one. Just got Henry and McConkey for Bucky and Tet. I mean, that's insane there. That's insane. I think it's for pro as well. I think if you have all the fantasy tools, you should be good. But that's a good question. Have to double check that. Monungai, Hall, or Jameson Williams, I assume. Javonte obviously would be the best start there. I think I'd go Breece Hall just for the safety, but just because Jameson Williams has been pretty up and down this year. How do you get the free trial? Yeah, in the description, there's a link to the Walter Picks app. It should be a 14-day free trial. If not, it'll be a 7-day free trial. And then just use code NOBS. That makes sure you see a free trial as well. And then you can try out all the best features, including the prop evaluator. If you guys haven't checked that out, we have a prop evaluator as well. That's for pro. Definitely like the highest level, the elite tier subscription. And it's got the props for this week. It's also got NBA in there as well. So if you guys want to get the best plays for NBA as well, we got those in there. I'll just leave that up. I like this top one here on Prize Picks. I think that's a good call with Lonzo Ball. We're not sure how much he's going to play. So I like these plays as well. So that's in the pro tier too. Let's do some, or the elite tier, sorry. Let's do some more start sits here. We got, hide current comment, Downs, Waddle, or Tet for the flex. Tet has a really tough matchup, and so does Waddle, I believe. So I'm going to go with Downs, who actually has one of the easier matchups. He is number 5 with the 5th easiest cornerback matchup of the week. So I'm going to go with Downs, actually, this week. Start Lad. Yeah, Lad's a great start this week, guys. When's the paid that's available to paid users? Yeah, guys, the trade analyzer will be available very soon. This week is the plan. It already should be out there for some users. We just are rolling it out, like kind of like in segments, just to make sure it's working well for everybody. We don't want anybody having a bad experience. So we're going to work on that here. First best matchup and second best matchup. How can I look it up? John, so one of the things that I'm doing every week is posting the best and worst matchups for cornerbacks, wide receivers. So right on my YouTube, No BS Fantasy, on my TikTok, No BS Fantasy, it's the same, No BS Fantasy Football. The best wide receiver matchups of the week, Darnell Mooney, who may be coming off the waiver wire facing Minkah Fitzpatrick of the Dolphins. And then we got Marvin Mims facing Kyer Elam of the Cowboys. So those are the two best matchups of the week for wide receivers. And then the worst matchups go to Terry McLaurin facing Noel Williams of the Chiefs, who's been pretty great as a rookie. And then George Pickens facing Riley Moss of the Broncos. He's also going to be facing some Pat Surtain as well. So I am worried about George Pickens this week because of the very tough matchup. Let's do a trade here. Being offered Kyron for Dobbins and Ferg. Okay, let's do a little trade. Let's do a little trade analyzer here. Let's do Kyron here. Kyron. I think I wouldn't do that trade. I think I would keep Dobbins and Ferguson for sure. But let's do a little trade analyzer. And this is what I like about the Walter Picks app as well. It makes it so easy. Dobbins. And then let's do Ferguson. Ferguson's just been too good to trade away, I think. He's been too good. But let's analyze this trade real quick. Yeah, it says the Dobbins-Ferguson side definitely wins. Kieran is maybe the best player, but I think that I would keep Dobbins and Ferguson. And if you do want to make a trade like that, get a better running back, because clearly you have some more value here. So when you see this in the trade value, it's like, I get the best player. Well, sure, one of them's on your bench, sure, but means you probably should put a better player on that other side of the coin there. So yeah, great question. Let's hide that one and do another one here. Start Mooney or DJ Moore. That's a tough one because Mooney, I think, could be really good this week. DJ Moore has been pretty bad, but DJ Moore has a good matchup as well. Honestly, I might go Mooney. I think Mooney has some big, if someone's going to get you 20 points or 25 points, it's going to be Mooney. It's not going to be DJ Moore with how he's been involved this year. Did I sell by trading Jettas for Judkins? I don't know, honestly. I think if JJ McCarthy comes back, I think you could definitely win that trade. I think Judkins is going to be good rest of the season as well. So I don't mind that. I don't mind that trade, especially if you're if you're stronger at wide receiver still, or you were really strong at wide receiver and you have good replacements, and you're weak at running back, and you're replacing like a Kenneth Gainwell or like a what's his name for the Cardinals, not Trey Benson. Like Bam Knight, if you're replacing Bam Knight with Quinton Judkins, and you're replacing Justin Jefferson with maybe like Jordan Addison from your bench or Quentin Johnston from your bench, you could both actually benefit from that trade. And that's what the trade analyzer will do as well. It'll find trades that benefit both teams, so it's likely to be accepted by matching your strengths and their weaknesses, mixing them together so both teams can actually benefit. And that's how you get trades actually accepted. Let's see here. Good questions, guys. Great questions. Do you post the CB matchups anywhere? Yes, I posted them on YouTube, No BS Fantasy, and on TikTok, No BS Fantasy. So those guys, I've got the top 10 best and easiest posted for you. London for Judkins, I would take Judkins for that. I'd be getting Judkins. Yeah, I would do that trade. One thing to watch out for, guys, is when Darnell Mooney's in the game, Drake London does a little bit worse. When Darnell Mooney's not in the game, it's Drake London's season, but Darnell Mooney, he gets targets from his quarterbacks. So I think I would try to get Judkins for London. He's just going to be more consistent, and like we saw last week, he has huge upside each and every week. When you get to the fantasy football playoffs, he's a player that can, score 2 touchdowns in that championship game and get you that championship ring. So I think I would take Judkins. London, he seems like he's going to be a little bit more up and down this year. Addison or McConkey, I would go McConkey because Addison has one of the toughest possible matchups. McConkey, let me grab it here. And again, I wrote it down. I did post these on TikTok and YouTube on No BS Fantasy. But we got Ladd McConkey is facing Josh Metellus of the Vikings. That is an amazing matchup. Last week, A.J. Brown had a really difficult matchup, but that first touchdown, if you guys didn't watch the play, it was a little bit of a scramble drill where A.J. Brown kind of was on the sideline, and Josh Metellus tried to jump the route before it was thrown. A.J. Brown just broke for the end zone, scored his touchdown on Josh Metellus. So I think I'm going to go with Ladd McConkey with that really nice matchup. And I'm really trying to learn those guys and include those in my start sits because it helped a lot. The players with a bad matchup, overall, except maybe for Wandale Robinson, did really bad. The players with a great matchup, overall, except maybe Jalen Waddle, did really, really good. Even some of the waiver guys like Kayshon Boutte. So that's just one reason you got to be doing that extra research, and that's something I'm bringing to the Walter Picks team in the projections calls is that information. Trade Pickens and Dobbins for A.J. Brown. I think you could probably get more than A.J. Brown, honestly. The trade may work out and may be fine, but I think you could do a little bit better. Trade Ladd McConkey, Keenan Allen, or Rico in the flex. I'd probably go Ladd McConkey. He's been pretty great lately here. Someone in my league dropped Jacoby Myers. Should I pick him up? If you've got room, if you don't need him to produce, sure, because he could be good for you later on, especially if he gets traded. That's where the real value comes in. Like maybe he goes to the Steelers. The Steelers are scoring some good points each and every week. Maybe he goes to the Giants. Maybe the Giants pick him up. I don't know if he's the best fit with the Giants, but let's say they pick him up. He could do a lot better than he is with the Raiders. So I'd pick him up, but don't expect anything, right? So I drop it, it's a stash play. It's like I like Brashard Smith. I like him to continue to take over this role towards the fantasy football playoffs. Not someone you're going to play this week. And Jacoby Myers is not someone that you can play this week, but he is a good stash for the playoffs, I think. And then, if the trade deadline passes and he doesn't get traded, just drop him. Let's do this one. Start Pollard, RJ Harvey, or Josh Reynolds. I would go with Pollard. The chances of him scoring the touchdown, I think, are a little bit higher. Let's see here. Do I sell trading Rice and Tet for Jefferson? I also have London and Igbuka. No, Rice is the best receiver. Guys, Rice is the best receiver for the rest of the season. In the Walter Picks app, I'll click on wide receivers. It's Jamar Chase this week. He is facing Sauce, so that's going to be an interesting matchup. But Rashee Rice, he is the best receiver for the rest of the season. So don't worry too much about it. Rice is a guy that you want to have on your team, and if you have him, you're just going to win. That's how it's going to work here. Start two. Very good question here. Shakir, Golden, Tet, Ja'Cory Crosby-Merritt, Bill Crosby-Merritt. I'm definitely sitting Bill Crosby-Merritt facing the Chiefs. They are a top-tier rushing defense, and with how powerful that Chiefs offense is, you have to, you can't run against them. That's one thing. The second player I want to talk about here is Tet. This week, Tet is facing, I think he has a bad matchup. Let me get my notes here. He does. He's facing Tre'Davious White of the Bills, who's not allowing that many points. And then Golden has one of the easier matchups of the week. And again, I've got it written down here. Golden is number 8, facing Jalen Ramsey of the Steelers, who's been pretty rough, honestly. I'm a Steelers fan. He's had his good moments, but also some not so good moments. So I think Golden is definitely a start out of the group. And then I think I'd probably go with, I'd go with Tet just because I'm a little more confident in his target share. Andy Dalton could be an improvement there as well. So I think I'd go Golden and Tet. But if you don't want to play Tet against Tre'Davious White, Shakir is a fine play. By the way, guys, if you guys could hit that like, this information, these wide receiver cornerback matchups, you ask anybody else on TikTok, on YouTube, they're just not going to have that information offhand. They're not going to have it ready for you guys. That's what we do here at Walter Picks. So make sure you hit that like, make sure you hit that subscribe to get these types of videos every single week. And let's jump into the next question here. Let's see here. Do I do Ladd and Michael Carter for Brian Thomas Jr. and ETN? I probably would, because Michael Carter Jr. has no value. Brian Thomas Jr. and ETN have some good value, especially if you need them kind of both as a starter. Vidal or Pacheco? I would go Vidal. I think Pacheco, not the most reliable. Maybe if they blow them out, yeah, Pacheco will have a good game. But Kareem Hunt in general, except for last week, has been the red zone back. I don't think that's really going to change. I don't think anything happened where he lost the role. Hunt has been, maybe you guys, if you could watch the Chiefs game, I know some people, you may not be able to take it anymore with the announcing and all that stuff, but I watched the game, and one of the stats they bring up is Kareem Hunt has been the best running back in the NFL on 3rd and 1. He's missed it one time the whole year. So I think I would go with Vidal. He's going to have the whole backfield to himself. Let's see here. We already did that question. Pick 2 for the flex. Let's do this one. London, Rice, QJ, and Troy Franklin. We got to start Rice for sure. And then I think I'd probably just go London, keep it simple. But if you do want to, like, if you're like, I don't trust London, we talked about him not being as good with Mooney, I would go Quentin Johnston, not Troy Franklin. That's way too big of a risk when you have those other players on the board. Gadsden or Kincaid? Pretty insane. Let's do a start-sit comparison here. Let's do a start-sit comparison. So we got Gadsden as tight end 9 in the Walter Picks app. We've got Kincaid as number 13. Let's do the start-sit. And we got the fantasy points. It's pretty dang close. But the boom probability, that's why you need the Walter Picks app. Because the boom probability for Gadsden, way bigger. And I agree with that 100%. Because when you look at what Kincaid's done, he's been pretty decent, honestly. But he just doesn't have that boom potential like Gadsden, who dropped 29 points this week. And by the way, 2 weeks ago, I told you to add him off the waiver wire after that first big game. So many people didn't because he was still available in 96, 94% of leagues this week. We look at the matchup. Kincaid has a little bit better matchup. Yeah, but they don't really use the tight end like other players. Projected points. I think I'd go with Gadsden this week because of the boom potential. Yeah, I'm going to agree 100% with the Walter Picks app here. And I don't have to. I'm on the projections team. There's a group of us. I don't agree with everything, but I agree with most of it. And I certainly love this boom projection because that's the reminder that we need. That's how you win your week right there. Let's scroll down here and see here. Should I trade Olave for Barkley? I probably would if you need running back help. Take the risk. One of the things I want to watch out for in our CEO, Sam, the guy who created Walter Picks, has been talking a little bit about Barkley, that you have to trade for him. And I think that's a great call as well. Not just because he's the CEO, but because of the data he brought to the video. Look at this schedule. So far, the schedule has been pretty up and down. Against Dallas, easy schedule. He did awesome. Against Tampa Bay, easy schedule. He did awesome. Look at his schedule rest of the season. They do have the bye coming up week 9. Green Bay, Detroit, tougher matchups. But then Dallas, Chicago, the Chargers, the Raiders, the Commanders, the Buffalo Bills in the Fantasy Football Championship. You have to trade for Saquon now. If he hasn't one more good week, you probably won't be able to trade for him again. He'll have too much good games to outweigh the bad games. If you buy him now, that could be a league-winning move. So I really like trading for Saquon. I've got him in a couple leagues. I'm not trading him away. So yeah, I would definitely make that trade for Saquon here. Pacheco or Chase Brown? I would definitely go Chase Brown. I love the upside of Chase Brown. He's definitely been improving quite a bit here. Love that trade here. Let's scroll down to the bottom and answer some new comments. By the way, guys, thanks for hanging out. We got 100 people in the live. If you guys are new here, make sure you grab the Walter Picks app from the profile. There's a free trial. You can try the new trade analyzer or the new trade finder, which will find trades for you. And you can try the prop evaluator. We got the NBA and we got the NFL. So both those live right now to help you make the best picks possible. Stop letting the books have the advantage. You can get the advantage with that as well. So let's answer another question here. But that's in the profile. Use code NOBS, by the way. That helps me out. And you get the free trial, of course. Diggs, Devonta Smith, or Addison. Wow, that's tough. Devonta Smith, though, has one of the easier matchups this week. And A.J. Brown's dealing with an injury. So I think I'm going to go with A.J. I think I'm going to go Devonta Smith. That's a good question. Wandale or Tet. Wandale, let's just be honest. He popped off against the Eagles 2 weeks ago. He does have a tough matchup. Cooper DeJean, tough matchup. But with the way he's been great with Jackson Dart, I'm going to go Wandale. He's really surprised me. I was really wrong about him. He's been popping off this year. Let's see here. If I've Hurts, do I trade Allen, Cook, and Lamb for Herbert, JT, and Jettas? Okay, so I assume it's Superflex. Do I trade Allen, Cook, and Lamb? That's a pretty stacked table there. For Herbert, JT, and Jettas. I probably would do that, honestly, because it's hard for Allen and Cook to both cook in the same week. Because, when it gets to the fantasy football playoffs, Allen takes over in the snow. But Cook may drop a little bit, and Lamb, he's great, but Herbert is fine. He's been up and down. But JT, he's a league winner, and Jettas, I think, could be a league winner as well. So I like that trade a little bit, especially if you already have Hurts. Let's see here. Should I give up on RJ Harvey and Travis Hunter or keep holding on? I mean, Travis Hunter went off last week. I'm a little skeptical that was just like, hey, we're down 21-0. We're not winning this game. Let's just get some ROI from our first round pick. Let's make our ownership look smart. They certainly did that, but I'm not giving up on Travis Hunter. I think giving up on RJ Harvey is reasonable. He's someone like, if you're like, I need someone now, trade him away to someone with a great record and be like, hey, RJ Harvey may take over, especially if the J.K. Dobbins injured. League winner, right? But you can't wait. If you've got a bad record, you can't wait, especially if you have Hunter and RJ Harvey, you probably don't have the best record, so I would probably trade them away. Look for someone with a good record. Say, hey, this guy may win your league, but he's not going to help me win my league because I'm not even making playoffs. So he's going to help me win the toilet bowl, right? That's what RJ Harvey will do at this point in the season. Start Daniel Jones or Jackson Dart. We did this one before, but it's Jackson Dart. That rushing ability is insane. And honestly, quarterbacks haven't been that good against the Titans because they just run so much. They just run in so many touchdowns. Let's see here. Let's answer Wandale or Tet. We did that one. I'd go Wandale. There. Dart or Williams. I'd go Dart. I mean, he's just been too good. Like this question, DK Metcalf or Jalen Waddle. I'm not going to go Waddle. I like the question. I think it's very fair because 2 weeks ago and 3 weeks ago, he was insane. But with the way Miami's looking, and this week Waddle has the 10th hardest matchup, extremely bad matchup against A.J. Terrell. He has been locking everybody down. Last week, I said, you got to sit Kendrick Bourne. And so many people were like, I'm not sitting Bourne. I'm not sitting him because he's been too good. I was like, guys, he's got a terrible matchup. Just letting you know. And he dropped, what? Let me see. I wrote it down here. He dropped 3.4 points. That's not good enough. And when you face A.J. Terrell, that's the kind of what you're going to get. DK Metcalf, last week, he faced the third most difficult matchup. I forget the name of the corner who was covering him, but he had 2 picks in the game. And it was DK Metcalf's worst week, so he's going to bounce back with a much better matchup this week. I like this trade question from Tracy. Tracy, we got to plug this into the trade analyzer. This is too good of a trade here to not plug into the trade analyzer. So this is Judkins, who I think he's going to be awesome. Judkins, and let's plug this in and you guys can do this, obviously. This is a feature. This is a free, no-charge feature in the Walter Picks app, the trade analyzer. You get a better version with the premium. You guys can get a free trial with code NOBS. So make sure you do that. It's in the profile here. The new Tradefinder is out here as well. Oh, forgot to add the Barkley. I think, let me predict. What do you guys think who wins this trade? Let me know in the chat who you think wins this trade. Judkins and Ferguson for Barkley and Ladd. I think that it's going to be, without getting too close here, I think if your tight end sucks, I would go for Judkins and Ferguson and give up Ladd and Saquon. But let's analyze the trade. Yeah, slight advantage for Ladd and Saquon, but honestly, it's so close that if your tight end is terrible and you're like, man, I'm rolling out like waiver wire guys, I think that Ferguson could definitely help you enough that both people are happy with this trade. So I like it a lot, but that's why I use the trade analyzer. Just it's like when it's this close, you're like, okay, I'm okay with that, right? Nobody's really winning too big. Nobody's really losing too bad. It's just going to help someone that needs a tight end and someone that needs a wide receiver. So I like that trade. Great question. By the way, let's get back here. This one, we got to talk this one. This is a huge one. So glad we got 75 people in the live. So glad you guys are here because Kamara and Keenan rest of the season. So let's start with Kamara. A lot of people are saying that Kamara is he's going to pop off. Like he's going to go crazy. But let's just do this. Let's search up Taysom Hill. And look at how involved he was this last week. We saw he had 2.8 points. He had 2 receptions. He had 9 snaps. He had 2 targets. Where's his rushing? He did have some rush attempts. He had 2 rush attempts. He's going to have some rush attempts. We got Devin Neal, who's going to have some rush attempts as well. There's a reason Kamara did not have a hold on this backfield. It's because he's not doing that well. And the offense overall is not doing that bad. So Kamara, for me, is a sell high now. When he plays again, they're like, oh, wait, Kendrick Miller went down, and Kamara didn't become like this insane workhorse. Now his value is at the highest. So I would trade away Kamara right now. Keenan, if he has a bad week, I'd try to trade for him, but I think he's been doing about what we're going to get for the rest of the season. Good questions. Who am I starting this week between Jalen Warren, Jalen Williams, and Judkins? I'm definitely going Judkins, Warren, and Williams there. If it's Javonte Williams, it's Javonte, Judkins, and Warren. So good question there. Let's see here. I only have one IR spot. Drop Mike Evans or Joe Mixon. Honestly, Joe, you can drop them both. I don't think Joe Mixon's coming back. Mike Evans, I don't think coming back either. So I honestly would just drop them both. But I think that if you had to drop one, I would drop Mike Evans. He's not coming back, it doesn't look like. For sure. Who should I target trading away Kamara? I need a synced league, and I don't have Kamara in any leagues, but you got to try the new Tradefinder. Because what the new Tradefinder can do, you can hit sell player, and it will bring up your whole team, and then you can just say, it'll just do it for you. So you no longer have to ask me, who you should trade for. This new Tradefinder in the Walter Picks app, and you get a free trial with code NOBS. This is going to be released this week. That's the plan to everybody. You can just type in the player that you want, and it'll just generate the trades for you. So you no longer have to even ask me that question. But what I'm thinking today is, like, I'd start with, like, a Ladd McConkey. Look for someone that needs an RB. That's what the Tradefinder will do. It'll look for someone in your league that needs an RB and probably take their wide receiver too. That's kind of like what I would do. Let's see here. Engram or Hawkinson? Good question here. Hawkinson was pretty good last week. He dropped a touchdown as well. I'd probably go Hawkinson. I think I'd go Hawkinson. You're using NFL Fantasy? We're working on that, man. We're working on NFL Fantasy. It's probably not going to be this year, to be honest, but a fair question. So do you want to address that, Sergeant? Where's this app? This is the Walter Picks app. You can grab it in your app store, download with code NOBS, and you get a free trial. You can try the trade finder. You can try the trade analyzer. You can try the prop evaluator if you're interested in NBA props or NFL props. It's been profitable on NFL for 5 straight years. Pretty amazing. So that's available with the free trial. Again, use code NOBS. Schultz or Gadsden? Wow. Let's do that one in the start-sit comparison because I think that one's too good of a question to not do that. Let's see here. We have Gadsden at tight end 9, and we have Schultz at, let's see here. We've got him down a little bit lower, I think, because he's a little bit risky, but I think we do need to see. Let me just type him in here. I kind of like him this week. So this is where I may disagree with the, we got him at tight end 17. So I might disagree a little bit with the Walter Picks app on this one, but the but I don't disagree with this. The projection is close. That's kind of what I was thinking, right? I was like, man, we got him down so far. The projection is less than 1 point different, but the boom probability is so much better for Gadsden. We've seen him absolutely, like last week he won you your week if you were able to trust him. The bust probability is also lower for Gadsden. He's been getting a lot of targets, a very pass-heavy offense, so I think I would go Gadsden. Again, the Walter Picks app kind of put that in perspective for me. Like at first, and again, guys, that was my real opinion. I disagreed. I was like, I don't know about this. But looking at the starts to comparison, looking at the stats, I'm on Gadsden. So that's why I use this app all the time, even though I help with it because I just think it's powerful for that reason. Goddard versus the Giants or Pitts versus Miami. Like who's scoring a touchdown? Probably Goddard, not Pitts. Pitts doesn't score touchdowns, so I'd go with Goddard, but up to you. But that's how I feel about it. We got a Kamara trade. Let's see here. Traded Worthy for Kamara. I mean, that isn't bad. Honestly, I think that's actually pretty good. Like, I think Kamara's a sell high, but Worthy, I think, is kind of a sell low. So I actually like that trade. I think you got a slight upgrade. Should I sell high on Keenan? If you can. I mean, depends what you can get. I mean, I'd honestly try to do... I see one guy who's like kind of making fun of fantasy football creators, but I would do the combination trade and do Kamara and Keenan and try to get someone like, hey, can you get Barkley? Can you get Judkins? Can you get an upgrade there? So that's the kind of thing I would be trying to do. Dowdle or Mason? Wow. I think Aaron Jones may be back this week. Let's double check here. Let's find out together. I've been following it, but I'm not fully up to date on all the injuries as well. So he's considered questionable. Like, if he plays, you can't play Mason. But if Jones is out, Mason has the backfield. I think Mason's safer, but I like the upside of Dowdle. Dowdle actually has one of the best matchups. The Bills, I think, are ranked 27th against the running backs. Let's double check. Let's double check my memory here. Let's see here. Yeah, 27th. So a real good matchup for Dowdle. And even last week when they were splitting the backfield, he had 17 carries. That's RB1 numbers. That's 17 RB1 numbers. So I think I would go with Dowdle, especially if Jones is in. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. Let's see here. McLaurin or McMillan? McLaurin has the toughest possible matchup of the week, guys. I post that on my TikTok and on my YouTube, No BS Fantasy. I would go with McMillan this week, who also does have a tough matchup, though. I will call that out, too. How do you feel about Henderson this week? I'm dropping him. Well, I'll tell you guys. A couple weeks ago, when Henderson had his 12 points, and I'm going to do a slight victory lap, and if this hopefully does not get clipped, if Henderson comes back and wins people their leagues, this is going to get clipped. But a couple weeks ago, when he had his 12 points against Carolina, I said, sell him now, and I got clowned for that. And since then, he scored less than 12 points in the next 3 weeks combined. So I think Henderson, especially against Cleveland, you have to sit him. Now, I will point out, this is where I could eat it. This is where I could be totally wrong. This schedule is pretty insane, right? Look at this. Buffalo, Baltimore, Jets in the fantasy football playoffs. Heading towards the playoffs. The schedule is a piece of cake. So if Ramondre got hurt or somehow Trevion found his second gear, he's going to be insane. But I just don't think you can play him at all until he shows any sort of more volume. So I appreciate the question, but I just don't think he's going to be that viable. Franklin, Jones, or Hubbard. I think I would go Hubbard just for like the safe 10. If you're chasing upside, Franklin is your play. Flex, Tez Johnson, or Jalen Warren. Definitely Jalen Warren for sure. Troy Franklin or Warren Dowdle, Swift, or Hall. Wow. I think I would go with just one. I think I'd go Warren, probably. Good question, though. Tough one. But Warren's facing the Dolphins. I mean, that's the dream matchup right now for running backs. Flex Franklin or Kayshon Boutte. Kayshon Boutte does have a good matchup this week. Franklin also has a good matchup this week. Tough one. I think I would go with, oh, man. I don't know. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I don't know. Let's do a start-sit comparison because I really don't know. Let's search it up here. And this makes it easy. This is like, that's a tough one. I'm not even going to commit to it because I don't know. Let's see here what we have for Kayshon Boutte. They're close. Yeah, it's a great question. They're super close. Fantasy points, it's close. We got Boutte with a slight advantage. The boom potential. Now, remember with Gadsden, the boom potential was way bigger. So the fact that it's 0.6 and 3%, essentially, I'm going to say almost zero. Bust probability a little bit lower. So we got more closer to the 60s on the bust probability, a little bit lower for Boutte. I agree with that. But Dallas is a much easier matchup. Oh, man. I think I'd take the matchup. I'll take the matchup and go with Franklin. Even though the Walter Picks app kind of disagrees, I'm going to play the matchup game and say, well, if Dallas is allowing 40 points to wide receivers and Cleveland's only allowing 30, I'll take the 10 extra fantasy points, even though he's got more competition. So I'll go with Franklin on this one. But great question. That's how I use the Walter Picks app. And again, you see, I don't always agree with it. You definitely don't have to either. But it did help me make a decision that now I feel good about. That's the power of the Walter Picks app. And again, guys, you can get that in the profile. Use code NOBS, get a free trial, try out all the best features for this week. Tet or Flowers? I go Flowers if Lamar is back, which he may not be. King Henry for Jalen Hurts and Mason. Trading for Mason is the trap of traps right now because a lot of people forget Aaron Jones is coming back, guys. So Mason, you have to trade for him like he's not even in the trade. So I think if your quarterback is like awful, like if you're like, man, I'm getting like 14 points a week, I just wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do it. I'd keep Henry. Let's try this one. Traded Genty and Golden for King Henry. Hope it pays off with his schedule. Yes, that is amazing. I love that trade for you. Great job. Two things he's doing really well there. Let's first look at Genty. Guys, and this is what everybody should be doing. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm posting about. This is what we post here on Walter Picks. Look at the schedule for Genty. The schedule is pretty bad. Jacksonville, Denver, Cleveland, Denver. He could have some good games against Dallas, but they're going to need to run. They're going to need to pass. You already know the Raiders are not going to be able to move the ball. The Chargers they're going to have to pass. The Eagles, they're going to have to pass. There are no more running games left, maybe till week 16. And did they already face Houston this season? No, they did not. They're not in their division. But this is a horrible schedule. Then he also traded Golden away. Now, Golden, he's got some competition returning that people forget about. That Jaden Reed is coming back at some point. Christian Watson could be back soon. He does have a pretty good schedule, but week 15 he plays Denver. So that's one thing to watch out for with Golden. But then he traded for King Henry. He traded for Derrick Henry. And let me show you the schedule. This is why I'm trying to trade for Derrick Henry. I was really worried about him early on, but last week he had the 5 yards per carry. That's why I like the Walter Picks up as well. It just has all the stats in such an easy, digestible way. 5.1 yards per carry. Love that. Chicago this week. Miami. The schedule in the playoffs, Cincinnati is insane. New England, we'll see how that goes. Green Bay, we'll see how that goes. But with Chicago, Miami, the Jets, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh has been pretty weak against the run, despite what this says. You know, they've given up some huge games. The wide receivers and other positions have just been scoring the touchdowns, but their run defense has been bad. Not giving up rushing touchdowns, though. But that's context I have because I'm watching the Steelers every week. And then Cincinnati. We'll see if he can do well against New England and Green Bay. But his schedule is very favorable. So love that trade. Let me jump back into the questions here. I'm scrolling down to the bottom. Start Theo or Kelsey. I'd probably go Kelsey. I just like the opportunity for Kelsey to score, like the Chiefs to score a lot of points. Flex Worthy or Ja'Cory Cross-Gamera. I think you got to go Worthy. especially with Mariota. I like whoever the quarterback is. I just don't trust it. I don't trust it this week. I'd go Worthy because they're going to score a lot more. Let's see here. Let's answer another question here. We're going to go game by game, but we've been getting some awesome questions. Let's just do some quick predictions here. We got Minnesota versus Los Angeles. The key start, I'm not huge on Vidal, but he's a decent start. Mason is a good start if Aaron Jones is out. If Aaron Jones is in, I'm sitting both running backs on that side of the ball. Let's see. Miami versus Atlanta. I think we have to sit Waddle in that game facing AJ Terrell. New York versus Cincinnati. You got to try to trade for Chase Brown, guys. I'm just getting some reminders of key things that you should do right now. Go trade for Chase Brown. He scores against the Jets. You'll never be able to trade for him again. Trade for Chase Brown. They got a great schedule, I think, as well. Cleveland and New England. Kayshon Boutte has a great schedule. So if you're stuck at wide receiver, he's a good play. And Jerry Jeudy, you got to sit him. He's got a bad matchup, and he also, he hasn't been good. New York versus Philadelphia. I think we're starting pretty much everybody. Watch out that A.J. Brown is injured. Buffalo and Carolina. I'm starting Dowdle. I'm sitting Hubbard. I want to sit Tet if we can. He's facing Tre'Davious White of the Bills. On Buffalo's side, we're starting, just the running backs. I think Kincaid's fine. Chicago and Baltimore. I'd like to sit DJ Moore. He's got a good matchup, but honestly, hasn't been that great. Baltimore, this is your last chance to trade for Henry. I'll call that out. San Francisco and Houston. I think Kittle, you want to trade for him as well. He put up a 0 last week. This week is National Tight Ends Week. I think he scores a touchdown. So I'm definitely trying to trade for Kittle now before his before his price goes up. Tampa Bay and New Orleans, I'm selling Kamara before this game. Dallas and Denver, the Dallas guys have tough matchups. I would honestly sit Pickens if you can. I know he's been good, but he's going to face some Pat Surtain and some Riley Moss in this game. It's bad matchup. So those are kind of a lot of the key matchups of the week, guys. Just want to roll through them real quick, and let's get back to some of your questions here. Defensive question, Green Bay or the Browns? I've got the Browns ranked a little bit higher. Sell Judkins and Ferguson by JT and Brian Robinson. I have CMC and Fanning. Wow. So you get JT and you have CMC. But who's your... Oh, you have Fanning. That's risky. I think I probably would do it, though. I think I'd probably do it. Set yourself up to win in the fantasy football playoffs. Start Tez or Saquon Barkley. Obviously, we're going Saquon. Come on. He's got to bounce back this week. He just has to. So Judkins and Tet for JT. Yeah, man, that's huge. Like this question. Start Josh Downs or Shakir. Josh Downs has a great matchup this week, so I'm going to go Josh Downs. Vidal, Hubbard, or Tet. Who am I benching? Wow. I think I'm benching Hubbard, honestly. Dowdle or Swift? I think we got to go Swift, but I think I'm not. If you're like, hey, I'm playing Dowdle, I'm not going to hate that. I think the safer play is Swift for sure. Who do I trade Travis Hunter for? That's a good question. You need to find someone in your league that probably look for someone in your league that has a lot of rookies because they believe in them. Look for someone that, you want to find someone that believes in rookies that doesn't have doesn't have good wide receivers. And that's why this new tool that's coming out this week, if you don't already have it, is the Tradefinder, where you can just say in the Tradefinder, I don't have a synced lead, but you can just hit sell player, click Travis Hunter, and it'll find the trades for you. Now, it doesn't work for every league because it's trying to find like an even trade. So if there's nothing that really fits in your league, like let's say you play in a 4-man league, well, you're probably not going to find a trade for Travis Hunter because it's just not going to make sense. But you can use the sell player button and have some trades generated for you, which is really cool. And that's coming out soon. You guys can get a free trial in the profile with code NOBS, guys. Is Spears a good pickup in deeper leagues? Yeah, in deeper leagues. Yeah. Kittle and Marvin Harrison, get Jefferson and Kraft. I would do that. I would do that now. Yeah, I would do that now. Should I trade James Cook for a better bench? I pretty much sold everyone on my bench. I've got Jacobs and Achane as well. I probably wouldn't. Starters win championships. I think if you've got a decent record and you can survive the bye weeks, I would not. Mayfield or Dart? I'm going Dart. He's been too good. Start Boutte or Wandale? I'm going to go Wandale. He's playing the Eagles. Last week he was great. The week before he was great against the Eagles. I kind of hate that the NFL put Giants, blank game, Giants on the Eagles schedule. I mean, if the Giants win again, that'd be insane. So it does kind of give some potential for that, but I hate that. But I am going to start Wandale. Jalen Warren or Dowdle? I'm going Warren. Really good matchup against the Dolphins. I mean, that's the dream matchup. If the Steelers lose this week, I'm going to be in shambles, guys. I am going to be in shambles if the Steelers lose this week against the Dolphins. This is oh, wait, they're playing Atlanta. Who are the Steelers playing? Oh, I totally messed this up. Steelers are playing Green Bay. If the Steelers lose this week, that'd be okay. If the Dolphins beat Atlanta will be in shambles. That's going to be insane. Oh, my gosh. What do you think of me offering Chris Olave and Kayshon Boutte for Justin Jefferson? Hey, yeah, good trade. Good trade. Olave's been good. I don't know if that person's going to accept that, but definitely worth a try. I traded Collins for Swift. I've got Amon-Ra, Diggs, down, Pearsall, Wilson. It's fine. I think it's fine, but keep in mind, guys, that Swift, and I've been posting about this a little bit, guys, on my No BS page and the No BS YouTube page. The schedule's bad. It's really bad. Playoffs, Cleveland and Green Bay. That is in San Francisco. They're going to be better when they get all their offensive players back and they're just running clock. It's going to be bad. So I think I would trade him away like after the Cincinnati game and try to upgrade again. So I would just keep that in mind. You guys have to look at this. Like, again, like I'm posting about it. So if you're subscribed, you're going to see it. And if you're on these lives like you are now, you're going to see it. So you guys, I mean, maybe I'm preaching to the choir here, but you have to be looking at that schedules because soon, like week 8 and week 9, like next week, everyone is going to know this. That is the problem that I'm trying to kind of warn people about. Everyone is going to know this next week because all the other creators that haven't yet started to look ahead are going to start posting about it. And everyone's going to be like, well, DeAndre Swift's got the worst playoff schedule and they're not going to trade for him. So try to cash in before everybody else realizes this. Bo Nick, let's do this one. Full PPR, trade Kamara and Henderson for Javonte. Yeah, that's a no-brainer, man. I would definitely do that, Ron. It's a fair question, but I would definitely do that. Bo Nix or Dart? I would go Dart. Bo Nix scored 33 fantasy points in the fourth quarter of that game. Dart's been a little bit more consistent. Here's a few wide receivers to target. Let me see here. I've got it written down. I would target. Oh, that's running backs. That's running backs. Let me see if I have it here. I've got a list. I would target Ricky Pearsall. His managers may be a little bit frustrated. I would target Waddle as well. He's probably going to have a bad week this week as well, but 2 weeks ago, he was great like Waddle, for example. You can get him cheap, too. That's one of the advantages. Waddle. Let me just kind of remind you guys. Last week was terrible, but the week before, 15.8, week before, 23. So one bad week, especially with this schedule. The schedule is pretty insane. I would try to trade for Waddle for sure. I think he's maybe the best buy low in fantasy football right now, honestly. Best buy low is Jalen Waddle. Clip it. Let's see here. Let's see. We did this one. Let's see here. Allen and Johnson for Jefferson or Achane. Are we talking Keenan Allen? Because if we're talking Josh Allen, definitely not. But Keenan Allen and Johnson for Jefferson or Achane, yeah, I would do that. Either one is fine based on what you need. Yes, okay. Nice. And if you guys, we got just a couple minutes left. So if you got more questions, drop them down below. And again, guys, if you haven't yet, you got to get the free trial to the Walter Picks app. This Tradefinder is pretty insane. You can buy player, sell player, improve position. You can do trade partners as well. Let me see what else we got here. You can save your trades. You can look at the My League tab. You can set untouchable players you don't want to be in trades. You can search by regular season playoffs. It's a pretty awesome tool, and it's going to change the game. So make sure you have that. Use code NOBS when you sign up and grab that free trial. Wandale, Franklin, or Boutte? Oh, I think I'd go Wandale or Waddle. It says Waddle. Waddle, I would not play against AJ Terrell. I'd probably play Franklin. And we looked at that one specifically in the Walter Picks app, and I like the Franklin is facing Dallas, who's giving up 10 more points per game to wide receivers. So that's why I went with Franklin over Boutte. McLaughlin or Badgley. You guys, I feel like I have a lisp when I say his name. Like it's hard. Badgley. That's kind of how I say it, unfortunately. But I would go Badgley because the Colts they score too many points. So when they're scoring that many points, the kicker definitely want to have him on your team. Has the Tradefinder released for us? H-Jug, I believe that tonight the Tradefinder is releasing for some users. It's just going to roll out kind of slowly because we want to make sure there's no issues. Because so far we've been testing it internally, but now when you roll it out from like 15 to 20 people to like 10,000 people, there could be a little bit more to find out. But this week the plan is to be released to everybody. So if you do grab that free trial, you should be able to use the prop evaluator, use the trade analyzer, and then use the Tradefinder this week as well. Give it a try. Should I start Jalen Hurts or Bo Nix? I'd go Jalen Hurts. Really good matchup this week for Hurts. Really good matchup. Pearsall or Ertz for the flex? I'd go Pearsall personally if he plays. Who should I trade Genty for? And again, guys, that's why you want to use the Walter Picks app Find Trades button, because you can just hit Sell Player. It'll just tell you who to trade the players for. But you've got Javonte, Bucky, Rashad White, and Jones on IR. Yeah, I think I would go for you need a running back in return. I'd go for Judkins. Maybe Jalen Warren could be good. Like Genty, he's got a bad schedule. He's not going to be great the rest of the season, I don't think. Ricky Pearsall, Tet McMillan. I'd probably go Ricky Pearsall as well. Tet has a bad matchup. Trading away Swift for Chase Brown. I kind of like that. Let's analyze that one in the Walter Picks app. Let's do Chase here. I think that's a good one. Chase Brown. And let's do, who's the other one? Swift. I really like, we're going to show the power of the Walter Picks app here. We're going to show the power of the app. DeAndre Swift. Let's analyze the trade. Okay, so this is good, but if you have a synced league, it'll tell you what I suspect is the playoffs will be a difference maker. Let's actually sync one of my leagues where I have Jamar Chase. Let me think for a second. This league, I have Jamar Chase. So let's do Jamar Chase. Let's do Chase Brown, and let's find... Oh, man. I have to find DeAndre Swift, unfortunately, but I do want to find this out because I want to show you guys what this can do. Where is DeAndre Swift in this league? See, that's why the find trades automatically, the Tradefinder is too good. But let's see here. Who's got DeAndre Swift in this league? Hopefully they had him in the starting lineup because there it is. Okay, let's do a trade here. So, fantasy playoffs. It's actually even. Okay. It's actually even in the fantasy playoffs. It's because I'm benching Chase Brown and I'm benching DeAndre Swift for my team. But in the playoffs, guys, I would think that DeAndre Swift has a huge disadvantage because let's look at Chase Brown real quick. Let me go to Chase Brown. He has a pretty good schedule. Look at this. He's played the worst possible schedule, and then he plays the best possible schedule. So I would definitely do that move. I think that's a great move. Download the app. Thanks, guys. Use code NOBS, guys. Helps me out. It doesn't, honestly, be honest with you, it doesn't do much for you. You do get the free trial anyway, but it does help me out if you use code NOBS. How well will Derrick Henry be rested? I think great. But, guys, Derrick Henry, great trade. Chase Brown. There are 47 people on this live. This moment could win you your league. That's why, hey, stick around for the end of the live, guys. The other people, they missed out. Because look at this Chase Brown schedule. I'm telling you right now, you have to trade for this guy. You have to trade for him. Because as soon as he scores the touchdown, he's going to be insane. Look at these games. 11, 8, 8, 8. I mean, with the receptions, he was scoring like barely any points. With Flacco, he's going to crush, and this schedule is just so insane. So insane. And I think Henry will be good rest of the season as well. All right, guys. I think that's where we're going to end it today. Appreciate you hanging out. In the description, you can grab the Walter Picks app. Use that free trial. Get the trade finder. It's pretty insane, guys. There's so many trades that I find. Not every trade's perfect, I'll be honest with you. But there are trades, real trades that actually would be accepted that I would never have thought of myself. That's the power of it. Again, not every trade's going to be perfect, but like 2 or 3, that could win you your league. So that's the power of the trade finder. The prop evaluator is there as well. We got a couple more questions. I'll answer them real quick. Trade Hall for Brown. I would definitely do that. Yeah, I would trade Breece Hall for Chase Brown. Goddard or Kittle this week. I would play Goddard. Just because Kittle put up a 0 last week. You're kind of hoping he scores a touchdown. He probably will. National Tight Ends Day. They'll try to get it to him, but Goddard's going to be good as well. Tracy, thank you for stopping by, man. Let's see here. Full PPR trade Kamara and Henderson for Javonte. Yeah, I would do that, Ron. 100%. 100%. Let's see here. Trade Gibbs, Judy, Baker for Pittman, Dak, and Achane. Yeah, I would probably do that. You get a little quarterback upgrade. Judy's like worth nothing. So Pittman is a huge, huge upgrade in Achane versus Gibbs. Like Gibbs is better most weeks, but Achane could be better any given week as well. So I would do that trade. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you grab that Walter Picks app as well. And I'm pumped for some NBA tonight as well. So I'm pretty excited for that. And I'll see you maybe tomorrow for another Thursday night stream.